Very good afternoon. Welcome to your stocks. It's lady special today, and in fact, the Nifty currently is holding with a gain of around 32 points odd. I'm with you, and I'll take you through the next half hour odd. I'm joined by Sumera. Sumera, good times for us this Friday afternoon.
Good times indeed, Nigel. Friday afternoons are always the best times for us. But let's get started. We have two guests who are already with us. Feroze Azeez joins in to take us through all our personal finance queries, and we have Akshita Deshmukh of Net Worth Stockbroking as well, who's going to be answering all of our stock queries. Good afternoon, and thanks to both of you for joining in. First,
but our next caller is already standing by. So Nisha calls us from Raipur, and she has a personal finance query. Hi, Nisha.
Hi, so I've selected some funds in which I want to start SIPs. So there's ICICI Prudential, Focus Blue Chip Equity, and HDFC Top 200 Fund. So, hello?
Yes, Nisha, go ahead.
Yeah, so is the right decision? Like, which are the best funds?
All right, Nisha, I'll put you on to our expert. Feroze is with us in the studio. Feroze, take it away.
Nisha, have you made any other investments apart from these, or this is what you're going to start off with?
No, just these to start with.
Great. So if these are the two you've shortlisted, both the funds are very good, to be honest. But I think both of them are of a similar kind. They both invest in large cap stocks. But I would suggest you, Nisha, you actually have a mid cap fund so that you have a good mix of a large cap and a mid cap fund, which will do well for you. Because I think in an economy which is expected to revive and is showing early signs of doing that, I think mid cap stocks have a larger potential to actually outbeat the large cap. But of course, they come with a marginally higher volatility and their risks are marginally higher, but I think as long as you're buying a mid-cap mutual fund, I think those risks gets mitigated. So two funds, ICICI Focus Blue Chip you can stay on with, or instead of the HDFC fund in the large cap space, you can choose a HDFC mid-cap opportunities fund. I think these two funds will actually give you an exposure to almost 90-95 stocks cumulative, and they'll do well for you. I think these are the two ones you should go for, Nisha.
all right, some news flow coming in on Balaji Telly.
Next caller is already in. So Sonia Thomas calls us from Bangalore, and she has a personal finance query. Hi, Sonia.
Hi.
How can we help you, Sonia? What's your query?
I had invested 1,000 rupees in an SBI FMCG regular growth fund.
Okay.
And I've been doing that for the past year. So I just wanted to know if I should renew it or should I discontinue?
So you're paying 1,000 rupees on a month-to-month basis?
Yes.
All right. So you want to know whether you should continue with this? You want to stick with this fund, or would you like to switch as well?
I'm not sure. That's exactly what I would like to know. Should I renew it?
Sure. I'll put you across to our expert over here. Feroze, she's been investing over the past 1 year, 1,000 rupees. What do you advise her? Is she in the right fund? You know best.
Sonia, in my opinion, I don't think you should have a sector fund in your portfolio because if you see sector funds, they generally end up taking more risk for the return they generate. Now, for example, the FMCG fund which you own of SBI would have delivered about 15 to 16% over the last 1 year, whereas Nifty would have delivered 34%. And the story just before 2 years back was completely the other way around. So in my opinion, these funds actually go ahead and then get caught up by the market. So, and you take a lot of more risk than you deserve to be taking for the same return or Nifty marginal plus or minus returns which you would get. So I would suggest you not renew this fund, and you also move the units which you would have accrued in this portfolio and move it to the other funds which are diversified funds, and defensives as a sector, which is FMCG, is a defensive sector, non-cyclical sector. So I think currently I would not ask you to stay in an FMCG sector. Buy two diversified equity funds if you can top up money. Otherwise you just move the money to a SBI mid-cap fund internally within SBI and renew your SIP in the mid-cap fund, which will give you better prospects at marginally lower risk than what you currently are taking, Sonia.
Thank you so much.
All right, I hope that's useful for you, Sonia. We have another stock caller with us now.
Welcome back to your stocks on CNBC TV18. The Nifty is holding with a gain of around 20-25 points odd, but a few stocks, they're ready for Friday, because just take a look at United Spirits. In the last hour itself, that stock has seen a big recovery. Currently, it's charging towards 2,400, and yesterday, in fact, we saw a big delivery-based buying in the counter. Today, the data is going to be quite interesting because United Spirits has recovered a fair bit from the lows of the day, and going by the negative news, yet, in fact, that stock refuses to crack, currently at the high point of the day. It's pizza time as well, because Jubilant Foodworks as well, that stock has recovered a fair bit from the lows of the day. So some of these stocks, they are taking off, though the Nifty is holding with a gain of only around 26 points.
All right, so let's welcome one of our callers in. Neha Malhotra writes to us from Jammu, and she wants to know if systematic investment plans are the best way to invest in stocks for a time horizon of 10 to 15 years, and how she should build a balanced portfolio. Feroze, I think she's almost answered her own question, but do you want to tell her how she can build a balanced portfolio?
Yes, Neha, I think you're right. When you actually look at an SIP is by far the best investment opportunity for a regular saving, because it gives very good discipline for an individual investor to invest small amounts as small as 1,000 rupees. In today's circumstance, 1,000 rupees is not a large amount of money. So I think everybody should have their SIPs going, and I think you're right when you say that it's one of the best investments. To create a balanced portfolio, you need to make sure that you invest in SIPs, not just in one fund, in multiple funds, depending on your investment time frame and the amount. I think you should look at 3 funds. You should have 2 large cap funds and 1 mid cap fund in proportions of 1/3 each to start with. If somebody's got 4,000-5,000 rupees also to invest, he needs to spread it across 3 funds. And if you ask me to name them, I would say the best ones would be a Birla Sun Life Frontline, ICICI Focused Blue Chip, and a HDFC Mid Cap Opportunities. These 3 funds will give you a very good composition of different stocks, and you will have more than 100 stocks in your portfolio, which will ensure stability and growth as well. And regular disciplined investment will always be beneficial over long periods of time, especially 10-15 years, like you have mentioned, Neha.
All right, then Neha, hang in there and invest wisely, as Feroze told you.
But on that note, Akshata, we need to thank you. Thanks much for answering all our stock queries. And Feroze, thanks very much for coming in to our studio this afternoon to answer all our personal finance queries. We'll wrap up on your stocks. Stay with us. Closing bell in a minute.